Chapter 5. Instructions concerning Holy Scriptures, and in particular concerning Chapter 8 of the Proverbs, in confirmation of the preceding pages. I will converse, O Lord, with thy great majesty, since thou art the God of mercies, though I am only dust and ashes. And I will supplicate thy incomprehensible immensity to look from thy exalted throne upon me, thy most vile and useless creature, and to be propitious to me by continuing to enlighten my understanding. Speak, O Lord, for thy servant heareth. Then the Most High, the corrector of the wise, spoke to me. He referred me to the 8th chapter of the Proverbs, and gave me the understanding of its mysteries. First was given me the literal wording of the chapter, which is as follows. Verse 22. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his ways, before he made anything from the beginning. 23. I was set up from eternity and of old, before the earth was made. 24. The depths were not as yet, and I was already conceived, neither had the fountains of waters as yet sprung out. 25. The mountains with their huge bulk had not as yet been established, before the hills I was brought forth. 26. He had not yet made the earth, nor the rivers, nor the poles of the earth. 27. When he prepared the heavens, I was present, when with a certain law and compass he enclosed the depths. 28. When he established the sky above and poised the fountains of the waters. 29. When he compassed the sea with its bounds and set a law to the waters that they should not pass their limits, when he balanced the foundations of the earth. 30. I was with him forming all things, and was delighted every day, playing before him all the times. 31. Playing in the world, and my delights were to be with the children of men. This is the portion of the Proverbs of which the Most High gave me an understanding. I understood at first that it treats of the ideas or decrees which were in the divine mind before the creation of the world, and that in its literal sense it speaks of the person of the incarnate Word and of his most holy Mother, while in its mystical sense it refers to the holy angels and prophets. For, before decreeing or forming the ideas of the rest of the material creation, he formed and decreed their prototype, the most sacred humanity of Christ and of his purest Mother, and this is indicated by the first words. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his ways. In God there are no ways, and his divinity does not need them. But he made use of them in order that by them we may know him, and that all of us creatures who are capable of knowing him may tend toward him. In this beginning, before he formed any other ideal in his mind, because he desired to create paths and open ways in his mind for the communication of the divinity, he decreed, as a beginning, the formation of the humanity of the Word, who was to be the highway by which the other creatures might come to the Father. Joined with this decree was that of his most holy Mother, through whom his divinity was to enter into the world, becoming man and being born from her as God and man. Therefore it is said, God possessed me, since both were possessed by his majesty. For as to his divinity, he was the possession, the property, and the treasure of the Father without possibility of separation, because Father and Son are one, of the same substance and divinity with the Holy Ghost. And also as to his humanity, the Father possessed the Son, because he himself knew and decreed the plenitude of grace and glory which he was to bestow upon it at the moment of its creation and its hypostatical union. Moreover, as this decree and possession was to be brought about by the mediation of the Mother, who was to conceive and bring forth the Word, since he did not decide to create it out of nothing, nor form his soul and body out of any other material, it followed that he possessed her who was to give him the human form. Thus he possessed and claimed her as his own in the same instant, providing with solicitude that in the order of grace neither the human race nor any other should have at any time a right or a part in her. He alone retained the full right in her as his portion, and so much his portion as the dignity of mother required. She alone was to call him son, and she alone was to be called mother, a mother worthy of having an incarnate God for a son. Now, as all this far surpassed in dignity the whole creation, so did it also take the precedence in the mind of the Supreme Creator. Hence he says,